A year ago, I was rejected from my dream school. I know it wasn't pretty, but a year ago, I also got into one of my dream schools. Guess what it was? So this is everything I wish I knew before I went to Rutgers. So someone ordered tea while you were served. I'm cutting that out. I feel like going into Rutgers, a lot of people were telling me that like, oh, it's so diverse, but I didn't really understand how diverse it was until I actually got here. First of all, there's 4 campuses. Let's give you the basic knowledge, okay? There's 4 campuses. There's Livingston, Bush, College Ave, and Cook Dug. So in terms of diversity, all the campuses are completely different. Cook Dug is like the farm. It's very secluded. It's very serene and peaceful. It's a lifestyle that you can choose to have. It's not my lifestyle, but you can choose to have that lifestyle. And we always love our options, don't we? Whoever complained about having options? College Ave is like in the center of New Brunswick. So it's like the city, and it's very lively. A lot of things are always happening on College Ave. Like all the brands will have pop-ups there, which by the way, there are so many pop-ups, which I absolutely love. Especially like early fall semester and when the weather's really good, a lot of brands will have pop-ups. Bush is very STEM oriented. It has a lot of academic buildings, and a lot of STEM majors will choose to live there because a lot of their classes will be on there. It's kind of a dead campus, but if your main focus is to just study, then that's the campus for you because they have a lot of libraries there. And then Livingston is, I feel like it's a little bit of everything. It's more like an urban like neighborhood near the plaza. It's very happening. I feel like there's always something happening. So I feel like lifestyle wise, it is very diverse. Even culturally, I feel like because you're in New Jersey, you think, oh, there's so many brown people, there's so many Italians here. I feel like no matter where I go, I always see diversity wherever I go within Rutgers, which is actually really nice. I also love that there's a big cultural shift between the campuses. It's like you can pick and choose who you want to be that day, which is kind of nice. You know, you don't have any classes, you don't have that much work. Go to College Ave, go downtown College Ave. Have fun, go to a cafe, you do you. You have to lock in for finals, go to Bush. You can do both, go Livingston. You want some peace and away, you want to get away from everyone, go to Cook Dug. There is always an option available to you, which I really like. I will say though, because there are so many people here, it's like the Hunger Games trying to register for courses. Course registration is infamous for being the most tedious thing you will ever have to go through at Rutgers. The site is always down every semester. You just have to get lucky with it. Course registration is a really big deal here. People will have like backup schedules on top of backup schedules in case they don't get the one that they want, which most of the time happens. And again, because there are so many people, the buses are always so crowded. I know it's like a popular thing for the buses to be crowded and everything. Like, it's a known fact. It's a very well-known fact. Try getting from College Ave to anywhere else. Just try getting off of College Ave at 4 p.m. and you will witness hell. It's probably like one of the worst things I have to experience. I think it's one of the worst experiences of traffic I've ever had to go through. One time, I had recitation on Bush at 4:05 and I got off of College Ave at 3:30. I was 15 to 20 minutes late for recitation. So imagine how long of a commute that was. Around 50 minutes to get from College Ave to Bush, which is around like 4 miles. You're joking. So yeah, be prepared to waste a lot of your time in commute. My advice to you is just to not get on a bus around like 4 p.m., especially on College Ave. Another thing about there being so many people here, it feels like you're a small fish in a big pond. Sometimes like just the overwhelming like sense of there's so many people here kind of eats you up a little, but it's not like an overpowering feeling. Like you feel it once in a while, but then like you kind of ground yourself. It's not like a big issue, but that feeling, it definitely is there, especially because I'm in CS and the CS department is so big. So, and it's a field where so much of your worth in that field is kind of tied to your internships, and it's so hard to feel unique and capable when there's so many people here. So that's definitely a struggle. But because the campus is so big and everything, you will rarely ever be in your dorm. And I feel like that just made my first semester experience so much better than what it could have been. I think I would only ever go to my dorm to sleep and shower and like hygiene or whatever. But like other than that, you would not catch me in my dorm. And I feel like that's the way it should be, because when you're not in your dorm, that is where you're meeting new people or just being in a different environment that you're not used to. And it just like acclimates you to being more uncomfortable and making that a norm. And because there are so many places to go here, you truly never feel like, oh, there's nowhere to go, so I must be in my dorm. Never. I don't think you'll ever be bored if you come here because there's just that many things for you to do. And there's always events events happening everywhere. I will say, because there are so many places that you can go, find a good study spot and gatekeep that shit. Don't tell anyone about it. Normally, I'm not a big fan of gatekeeping, but I feel like that's something that you need to gatekeep because your grades are important, simply put. But apart from the fact that Rutgers is a colonial university, a Big Ten school, a party school, its academics are also really rigorous. The math department and the chem department absolutely ruin people. Apparently the math department here is equivalent to the math department at CS. What am I saying? Apparently the math department here is equivalent to the math department at Princeton. Same courses, same style of teaching, same grading, everything, except you don't have the Ivy name to it. But something that they do, like the Ivies, is tuition. They increase that shit hella every year. I am not gonna lie. Rutgers was always supposed to be a in-state school that is affordable and like a school that's available to everyone. But recently, it's been harder for people to get in and the tuition is harder to pay. I feel like they're definitely changing a lot of things now. Coming here was one of the best decisions I've ever made. If you recall back to my college decisions video, I was stuck between Purdue and Rutgers. And in the end, I decided to go to Rutgers because Purdue was so far away and I would have had to pay out-of-state tuition, and because of that I would have to dorm because it is so far away. That was a factor, but it was also just the fact that like I have a support system back home, and I feel like I really needed that support system, especially with the way I ended high school. The mental space I was in, I just really wanted to stay close to home, and I don't regret that decision one bit. Also, as someone that is in-state and from New Jersey, I see people from high school everywhere, but you don't have to choose to be friends with the same people that you were friends with in high school. Like, it's college now. Like, people have forgotten about high school. And if you're still holding on to high school and you're in college, like, what are you doing? Like no one cares anymore. You have full reign over your life. And also, I feel like making friends, especially here, is probably the easiest thing you can do because everyone in Jersey is connected. Like, you won't know it, but like, you know the theory that everyone is 7 connections away from each other? Like, you're 7 connections away from anyone you could think of. In Jersey, you're 3 connections away from anyone you could think of. That's just the way it is. But this is just my personal experience. Please don't blame me if it doesn't go well for you.